Hi, this is Melanie for Pardesi Reviews, and I'm here to do a film review of Sarileru Neekavvaru, starring Mahesh Babu. If you're new to Pardesi Reviews, I do film reviews and trailer reactions of Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, and Malayalam cinema. All right, so you can see the new surroundings. I am traveling, arranging my son's wedding, which is going to be later in the spring in a city on the East Coast, far away from where I live in Chicago. But I found a theater where I could see Mahesh Babu's new film on the first day. I am a big Mahesh Babu fan. I've seen, over a dozen of his films. Each new film for me is an event. This film had the intensity and the action scenes and his dialogue delivery. It reminded me of some of his earlier, more action-focused films. It did not have the deep emotional quotient, though, that I've come to really love in some of his newer films. This director is Anil Ravipudi, who has had a couple of more out-and-out comedies like Raja the Great and F2 Fun and Frustration. I was not a big fan of either of those films. Like, they had funny moments, but then there was a lot of cringy parts for me as well. This film has Mahesh playing an army major. We open with scenes of him in the army doing a rescue of some kidnapped children, by terrorists. So we get a lot of action scenes and establishment of his character. Because of something that happens to one of his fellow soldiers, he travels to this soldier's family to help with the wedding. But when he arrives, chaos has happened. Vijayashanti it's interesting. She is the mother of the fellow soldier of Mahesh. She had another son that died in the army, and then she has some adopted kids. Like, it's kind of complicated. Like, she keeps saying, I raised 3 children, and yet she has 5 or 6. There's a lot of things that are kind of confusing in the plot. Let's just put it this way. Prakash Raj is our villain, as only Prakash Raj can do. He's really evil in this one. He plays a minister, very corrupt minister. Rashmika Mandanna, she encounters Mahesh on the train journey to reach Vijayashanti's family. And we saw in the full trailer some of the crazy scenes where she just decides that she's going to, he's so cute. First sight, she's going to marry Mahesh. And that train scenes go on for a really long time. And there's moments that are funny. And then there's moments like there's a fake rape marriage entrapment scene that just made me go. Rashmika, unfortunately, besides the dance numbers, just is kind of this one-note, shallow character. And then why Mahesh would want to marry her in the end is beyond me, besides the fact that she's so cute looking. But oh my God, there's very little put to the heroine, to her storyline at all. It's just there for comedy, and there's absolutely zero depth to the romance. There's nothing there. It's just all for comedy, which occasionally works, but mostly didn't really work for me. I heard some people around me laughing, but not uproariously. The more serious, dramatic part is with Vijayashanti and her family drama and what Mahesh comes in to save. And we saw scenes of this big fight scene outside the fort. There's this interval fight that's absolutely amazing that Mahesh does. I mean, he's just this soldier and all these goons come at him. And to me, those were the highlights of the film, where he just goes crazy, one man against all of these, saving the day. There's, like I said, there's parts that are awesome just in of themselves, but the whole string of the plot, sometimes it just got really confusing. Like, there was a side plot where they're solving a murder mystery, and there's a guy that was kidnapped and is held in the forest, and Like they were trying to uncover all the bad things that Prakash Raj did, but for the viewer, like it doesn't flow and it doesn't necessarily make sense. You kind of, I guess you're just along for the ride and you're just supposed to completely suspend disbelief, but it was a little bit confusing, and I just fault the director, who I think also wrote the script, and the way that it was edited, and that it made it didn't need to be that confusing, and yet it was, and there was so much time spent on comedy that possibly if it had been edited in a better way would have been tighter and funnier. I don't know, but it just, so the film overall, it's worth like a one-time watch, but I didn't come out of it, for instance, when I came out of Bharat Ani Nenu, I wanted to see it immediately again. In fact, when I went to the theater to see something else, I snuck in when I realized that it was about the time for the press meet speech that Mahesh did, and I went in to watch that part again. That was a film that you wanted to see those big moments again. I don't feel that way about this film. I mean, I'm glad I saw it. There was amusing parts. I thought that some of the dance numbers were especially really good. Like the Mind Block song is really fun. Where it is in the film is really kind of odd, especially what happens right after that dance number. It's just like, I don't know, it's just shoehorned in a weird place. And I did like the he's so cute song that Rashmika does, because in the song lyrics it talks about how there's never songs about how cute the boy is, and that's true. In a way, if you view her as the way the man is in a normal movie where she just sees him, that's it, it's done, they should be together, and that's kind of the way she treats everything. Like, I'm in love with you, isn't that enough? Like the fact that we haven't talked more than okay. Anyway, so like that song, really like the Mind Block song. Vijayashanti was very good. I thought, Mahesh is resting the whole movie on his shoulders, and they're very capable shoulders. He can make the entire thing entertaining. It also seemed like there was a lot of side plots just to throw in every character actor possible for a cameo. Like, why was Vennela Kishore in this movie? Like, I love Vennela Kishore, but it absolutely made no sense why he was shoehorned into this movie, and yeah, there was a lot of that. Maybe worth a one-time watch, especially for Mahesh fans. I think you'll be very happy with his dance numbers, his action scenes, and his fiery intensity through the film. Rashmika fans, this is not her best. Like, go watch Kirik Party or something instead. That's all I can say. I love her, but her part was underwritten. It's not. Maybe she overacted some of this comedy scenes a little bit much, but to me, I more faulted that her character was underwritten and she didn't have more places to go with it. Vijayashanti, I'm not as familiar with her classic films, but I loved her presence in this film. The emotional scenes really come from her, and she delivers. Love to know what you thought about this film. If you've had a chance to see it, in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. Subscribe here to Pardesi Reviews. And if you hit the bell when you subscribe, you'll never miss another trailer reaction or film review.